Welcome to this video about blended and part-time timetables, including remote learning. Part-time timetables. All children and young people of compulsory school age are legally entitled to a full-time education, which is suitable for them, including their age, ability, aptitude, and any special educational needs they may have. A part-time timetable is not the same as a personalised timetable. With a personalised timetable, the pupil attends school full-time, but with alternative arrangements built into their timetable. For example, one or more lessons may be undertaken in another staffed on-site provision, and the activities undertaken may be different. A personalised timetable is always preferable to a part-time timetable, as the pupil remains in school full-time. As a rule, schools cannot put pupils of compulsory school age on a part-time timetable. Part-time timetables should only be used in very exceptional circumstances, where it's in a pupil's best interests. It is not a long-term solution, should not be used to manage pupil behaviour, and should not be discriminatory in any way. A part-time timetable must be A. time-limited, and B. agreed between the school, parents and carers, and other involved professionals, with regular review and planning dates set to move towards a full timetable. When might a part-time timetable be appropriate? A time-limited and regularly reviewed part-time timetable can be suitable for a pupil with a significant physical or mental health condition, where recovery is deemed to be the current priority outcome. These arrangements should be informed by health advice from suitably qualified health professionals and recorded in a plan, such as an individual healthcare plan. Additionally, a pupil presenting with very significant social, emotional, and/or mental health needs, usually with features of severe anxiety and often linked with a neurodiverse profile, may benefit from being phased back in to a full timetable. However, this should only be considered when all possible adaptive high-quality teaching strategies, reasonable adjustments, and interventions have been tried and reviewed for impact. What needs to be in place on a part-time timetable? When a pupil is not in school on their part-time timetable, it is vital to plan what will be in place during those times. This might include, for example, use of telepresence robots so that the pupil can take part in live lessons remotely, tuition delivered online or in person, online self-directed learning programs, and study or activity packs and projects to work through. There are many factors to consider when making these arrangements for a pupil with SEN. This includes the level and types of adult support they will require, scheduling their routines, the presentation of learning materials, accessibility features in technology they need to use, and ensuring that they have continued access to any therapies. Alternative provision. Some pupils may access an off-site alternative provision. This is usually organised by the school in agreement with parents and carers. Alternative provision placements are intended to be short-term arrangements and are typically in place for pupils with significant health conditions or very significant behaviours that challenge. Placements can be full-time or blended with part-time attendance in school. This is not a substitute for specialist SEN provision. With alternative provision arrangements, it is important to be clear about what the intended outcomes for the placement are, and the key details about the duration of the placement. It's important to share all key information about the pupil's profile of needs, including any assessments that are ongoing. It's important to facilitate a well-structured induction plan. It's important to implement a personalised learning plan that incorporates adaptive high-quality teaching strategies, reasonable adjustments, and interventions that are aligned with or additional to the school offer. It's important to maintain strong links with the school, to preserve a sense of belonging and connectedness with school peers and staff. And it's important to robustly track pupil engagement, progress, and attendance. Flexi-schooling. Flexi-schooling is an arrangement whereby a pupil attends school part-time and attends another education setting part-time. This is a rare type of arrangement, and it's usually organised by the pupil's parent or carer, agreed with the school. It should not be used as a means of opting out of elements of the curriculum or difficult parts of the school experience that need to be addressed. Especially for a pupil with SEN, flexi-schooling can be disadvantageous overall. This is because the pupil's access to the full curriculum will be disrupted with regular gaps, affecting their progress and attainment over time. Maintaining social bonds in school, including with staff and with peers, is likely to be more difficult for the pupil. Identification and assessment of the pupil's SEN, coordinated by the SENCO, is likely to be delayed or complicated. Approaches to adaptive teaching strategies and reasonable adjustments for the pupil will be somewhat different between the school and setting. And the pupil's access to interventions put in place by the school may be reduced, disrupted, or not available. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the Bite-Size series, including other Bite-Size SENCO videos.